Sorry about that. My mic was on mute. Good morning, everyone. It's Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball. We're going to jump in really quick just for a quick update on Amber Portwood. And we'll be doing a longer stream later today related to a new video that was dropped that relates to Eugenia Cooper. Or Cooney, sorry. And then also tonight I will be doing the Q&A. So if you have questions, make sure you put them in the community. There's a post there that I think it's the third one down that tells you to ask me a question that you want me to answer. Keep in mind, I have done other Q&As, so if I've already answered a question in previous Q&As, I'm not going to answer those today. I'm going to try to keep this to unique questions that I haven't been asked, so people that have watched them before will get new information. Thank you guys so much. As this channel continues to grow, it's awesome to see so many of you involved. And make sure if you are concerned about not getting notifications from YouTube for when I go live, follow me on Twitter, and I update and share as soon as I go live along with the schedule. So I always tweet it out about 10 minutes before I go live. All right, you guys, let's get started. So yesterday, Amber Portwood updated on Instagram a photo that showed, is actually a video. I didn't actually take a screen grab of the video, but it's a photo of it was a video of her dog, and it said, "Every morning, this beautiful soul is right by my side to make me feel comfortable when I'm a bit down. Remember who I am, not what you hear. Still sending all my love and prayers to everyone in need, and I won't stop helping even when I'm going through pain." So she says she is going through pain. She is not what you think she is. Don't believe in the rumors. Don't listen to this. Don't listen to that. And sure, there's definitely like information out there that may or may not be accurate. There are definitely three sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth. And so she is trying to play her best, don't believe the hype type thing. Then, interestingly, after she posted this, Shirley posted this on his Twitter, which said, actually, that one is a retweet. Give me 1 second. He retweeted this about how there's more to the story. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry. All right. So he wrote, all I could ask is for Amber Portwood to be happy and healthy. She has all of my support when Teen Mom OG continues this Monday with a new episode at 8 Central on MTV. Watch, watch, watch. Then he retweeted, think about it really. Gary, MTV cast, and crew are all supporting Amber. I'm not sure we've heard the whole truth. So what could they be alluding to? Is he lying? Is there issues going on with her health? What is it that could possibly be happening at this point? All right, so last night on the Teen Mom OG episode, I just scrolled right through. I didn't even watch the whole episode yet, so I will be doing a recap later this week. It will not happen today. But on last night's episode, Amber admitted that she has been having issues with her liver. Now, she wasn't very clear and she was kind of vague about what she said, but she said she's been waking up with bruising and she feels swollen and bloated when she wakes up and feels like her liver is swollen. So, and then she was paranoid that something is going on with her liver because if you remember, her father, who was an alcoholic, as well as she admits bipolar in this episode, died of cirrhosis of the liver, along with he had cancer in his liver. And cancer and the liver issues related to her father have really sort of affected her long-term health and make her slightly paranoid about her own liver. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. Sorry if that was super loud. It's allergy season here. All right. So she admitted on the show that her father's own health and his ultimate death related to liver disease has really sort of haunted her over the years, and she's almost become a little bit paranoid about her own liver, and I think is attributing her swollenness in her liver along with bruising to her liver. So the doctors send her to a lab, and she's like super worried about going to the lab to have a blood draw to get her liver panels done. Okay, she said she's terrified of needles, I guess. And I apologize ahead of time if I'm a little bit like suspect about this kind of stuff. But like, dude, my kid has so many pokes and blood draws, and my son has been in liver failure, so it's hard for me to take this seriously. But I will give you the best here. So she goes ahead and gets the blood draw, and basically what they're going to be doing is looking at bilirubin levels, which is how well your blood moves through the liver. The liver is sort of in charge of making sure that all of the blood is sort of like goes through it and gets filtered, and then like if you have if there's clogs or any sort of like disease in the liver, it can affect how well like that bile that the liver is filtering out gets out of the liver. And bile can actually build up in the liver and build up in the blood, which then causes high levels of bilirubin, which is what you see in infants when they're born. They have a yellowish color to them, which is called jaundice. And typically one of the first indications of liver disease would be a yellowish appearance or yellowish pupils, or I'm sorry, the whites of your eyes would turn yellow. I must say that in this video, in this show, she didn't appear to have any yellow in her skin. Her eyes did not appear yellow. There didn't seem to be any indication that there was anything from a physiological, like, look at her, that there was anything liver going on. You can typically tell if someone's in liver, if there's issues with the liver by the skin and the eyes. So she goes and gets the blood draw, which then she asks the lab technician like what she can expect and what they're going to be testing for. So then she's like paranoid and sad, and then she goes home and she's talking to the producer who's asking her about what her fears are with this test, and he asks her like how long has she been thinking she's had a problem, and she admits like maybe this year, maybe a little bit longer, and she's worried that the amount of drugs that she's on or the pills that she's on might in fact be impacting her liver. She said that her dad's death related to the cirrhosis of the liver has really sort of scarred her and made her a little bit paranoid. And then she starts crying about Leah and like her children developing sort of issues related to mental illness. She's kind of all over the place, clearly dealing with something. And then and then she admits to Andrew that she hopes that she doesn't have to like go off all of the drugs, because if her liver levels are high, that might mean that she needs to get off of all of these drugs that she's on for her mental health. Whatever. After all of that, after all of this paranoia, after all of this fear, after all of this like hypochondria, which could be a part of like her anxiety and her anxiety disorders or her bipolar, it turns out her liver is fine. Like the panels are completely normal. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on. It's literally like there's much to do about nothing. So I don't know if this is like her specific like paranoia around liver disease is what's fueling her like lack of not taking her medications. I have no idea. But really, to me, like Gary's like, you got to watch, you got to see. All it really showed me is that she's paranoid about stuff. Honestly, I mean, I understand that like liver disease can be very like, it's like if you get liver cancer or cirrhosis of the liver, it's typically deadly. You can't like, liver cancer is one of the most deadly forms of cancer you can get. And cirrhosis, I mean, that's terrible. I mean, your liver completely shuts down. So, but it seems like her fears are not like rooted necessarily in reality. And she wasn't exhibiting any of like the symptoms, physical symptoms you would see in liver failure. So, right, Leslie Thompson, that's actually a good point. The mental health drugs typically aren't hard on the liver. They're actually harder on the kidneys. And I only know this because my aunt is bipolar and she is on lithium. And lithium has damaged her kidneys so severely that at one point doctors tried to remove her off of those drugs, but ultimately when they tried to wean her off of the medications, determined that they couldn't find anything else to stabilize her moods, and she went into psychosis, and so they ended up having to put her back on the lithium. So I couldn't tell if it's like paranoia or if it's attention seeking. But if she's not taking her medications, this is the thought process that I had. If you're not regularly taking your medications and you're dealing with a mental illness like bipolar, you can have like paranoia, delusions, that type of stuff. And with anxiety can also come hypochondria and like in an anxiety around your health. I know in my own experience, before I was properly medicated for anxiety, I was a hypochondriac, and my mother also recently went on medication as well for having hypochondriac feelings. So it could be just anxiety. I think it is rooted in her mental illness, to be honest. And yes, petite fireball, I will say this as well. You make a very valid point here. My initial reaction about her concern with her liver was directly related to the fact if you're really concerned about your liver, the number one thing you should not be doing is drinking. And if you combine alcohol with mental health drugs, that can be even harder on your liver and kidneys. So she should be more concerned, not necessarily about her medications, but more concerned about the alcohol she's drinking. So there is a lot going on here. I feel like there's just a lot more shifting and blaming, and we're going to continue to unpack this story and figure it out as we go and try to remain compassionate and remember that she does have a mental illness, but at the same time recognize that she's not actively doing the steps that she needs to be doing to take care of herself. Now all of this, I'm taking care of my dog and I'm meditating. It all just seems like a little bit too late, like it's too late for all of this. Like she should have been taking care of herself before things got to where they were. And it's fine to support your friends and family that are dealing with this kind of stuff, but at the same time, she had a lot of people in her life, it sounds like, leading up to this that were trying to steer her in the right direction. And throughout this entire episode, Andrew was extremely supportive of her and was like basically encouraging her to do whatever she needed to do to help get her health in tip-top shape. And those were his words. So I want to know what you think about this and how everything is going with her, if there's things that you found. As always, make sure that you send me messages if you have something that you want me to see. If you find something on Instagram or Twitter that you think I need to know about, send it to me. Also, you can check me out on Facebook if you're not on Twitter, or you can check me out on Instagram. I'm in all three places. The inbox I check the least is my Instagram one, although I'm trying to spend more time on Instagram because I'm really starting to despise Facebook, to be honest. All right, you guys, I'll be back later today and we'll talk more about some other topics, including a new video about Eugenia Cooney, and make sure that you leave me a question on my community page if there's something you want me to answer tonight. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.